In this video, we'll compare the Oraimo SpaceBuds, the latest release from Oraimo, with the $250 Apple AirPods Pro 2, Apple's flagship earbuds. Although we don't know the actual price of the Oraimo until the launch, so check out the pinned comment for an update on the actual price. We'll talk about the strengths and weaknesses of each one, reviewing every detail from the packaging, the design, functionality, controls, sound quality to the ANC test, the active noise cancellation test. This will be a comprehensive video and we'll rank each category on a scale of 1 to 10 as much as we can. And we also invited people to the studio to perform a blind test between both of these headphones, and the results were pretty interesting. They'll make up for some of the categories here. So without further ado, let's get into the video. When it comes to the unboxing experience of the earbuds, the Oraimo SpaceBuds comes with the manual, a Type-C charging cable, extra ear tips, and the SpaceBuds themselves. The Apple AirPods Pro Gen 2 comes in a small box with everything you'll need inside. You'll find the manuals, the AirPods case with the AirPods themselves, and beneath that, a long Type-C cable, a long Type-C to Type-C cable. Additionally, there are extra ear tips in various sizes. These two buds are very different in terms of how they look. The Oraimo SpaceBuds comes in a somewhat moon-like shape, or at least, that's what Oraimo is going for here. It's not fully covered at the edge. It has like a crescent around the edge of it to mimic a moon. The one I have here is gray and it's supposed to mimic that moon with the texture as well. The front has this shiny look with curved stripes embedded in it, and the back is a matte finish, and it actually looks and feels very nice. When you slide the case open, you are greeted with a halo light, and it also looks like a half moon as well. And these lights aren't even covered when it's fully closed. It has different blinking patterns with different meanings for charging and low battery, or when it's just open. And the buds themselves have a personality of their own with a splash of purple and green on the stem. One thing that is also cool that I really liked about the Oraimo SpaceBuds is if you take a close look at the head of the buds, you'll see inside the buds themselves, and it is just, I think it's very cool. I think it's a nice touch to it. I'll give this design a 9 out of 10 because of the bold things that they tried here. You have to see it yourself. The Apple AirPods Pros maintain the classic look from their previous generation. The case is a white rounded rectangular shape that has a blinking dot in the front when you open it, and the dot has different meanings as well for battery low, charging, and of course when it's pairing it will keep blinking white. At the bottom of the case there's a USB-C port, and it even has speakers, so when you are looking for your buds and you play like the Find My, it would actually ring out louder than the previous generation. You've also got a button on the back of the AirPods to pair. I would rate the AirPods Pro also a 9 out of 10. It just works. I guess it's simple and classy, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. I also know that when it comes to design, it's a matter of personal preference, so it's subjective. But what do you guys think about this design? Which one would you choose? This or that? Let me know in the comments. Just by holding these two, you can easily tell which one costs more. One advantage is that the Oraimo SpaceBuds are light. They are significantly lighter than the AirPods Pros. Although they are both made of plastic, the AirPods Pro seems to have like a heavier build. And you can also easily tell that by tapping on them, and you can feel the level of heft in each one. The Oraimo SpaceBuds have a good enough build quality that should be able to survive a fall or two. However, I'd advise that you handle it with more care, not only for the fear of it breaking, but also to avoid it getting any scratches, especially in the front of it. It looks very nice. You don't want to ruin that. Both the AirPods Pros and the Oraimo SpaceBuds are IP54 dust, sweat, and water resistant. I'll give the AirPods Pros a 10 out of 10 in terms of build quality, while the Oraimo will get a 9 out of 10. Anyway, for the price you are paying for the Oraimo SpaceBuds, I think the build quality is fair. The Oraimo SpaceBuds are compatible with just any smartphone, whether you use an iPhone or use an Android phone. As long as you connect via Bluetooth, you should be fine. So we know that there were issues with older earbuds that only showed their apps on Android phones. But with these SpaceBuds, if you have an iPhone with iOS 12.0 and above, all you need to do is scan the QR code in the manual. It will direct you to the App Store, and there you can download the app and use it. For Android users with Android 6.0 or above, the same process will work for you. I think one thing I like is how straightforward it is. If you don't have the manual with you at the time you want to set it up, you can just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and type Oraimo sound and it will show up immediately. The app offers a bunch of functionalities that maximizes the use of these SpaceBuds, and we'll get into that in a bit. Considering the level playing field that you're getting here regardless of the device, I give the SpaceBuds a 9 out of 10 again. For the Apple AirPods, if you're using an iPhone, then connectivity and usage will be seamless. If you're using a Mac, everything is just go into that tight-knit ecosystem. But as soon as you open the case and connecting it to an Android phone, just forget it. If you want to pair your AirPods with an iPhone, you simply open it up, it will show up, you connect to it, you can do noise cancellation, you can do everything in the control center. And even in the settings now with iOS 18, it's like one dedicated page for everything. Not the same case for Android though. For Android devices to connect to the AirPods Pro, you will need to go to Bluetooth in the settings and then you search and add the device. But beyond that, there's no on-device control for ANC or transparency. You will have to press the stems of your Apple AirPods and you just get like some haptic feedback. It's nice, but that's where it ends for the AirPods. No apps for you. Generally speaking, the AirPods Pros are not as fun to use on Android as they are when they are paired with an iPhone. So in that case, I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. Now here's a category that may seem a bit unfair to the AirPods Pro since they don't have an app that would maximize the function on an Android phone. But on the iPhone, you can get maximum controls, and once you leave that ecosystem, it is what it is. For this category, it's the app. Once you install it and you open it, you receive a quick notification displaying the list of Oraimo devices that are compatible with that app, the Oraimo Sound app. You can then pair your buds and adjust the settings accordingly to your preference, and you have 3 noise cancellation modes here. You can adjust them from low to high based on your preference, and you can choose transparency, noise cancellation off, and noise cancellation. Other features include sound control, earphone control, gain mode, and more. My favorite feature is the voice prompt, where you can choose to use the standard voice commands or voice prompts that are baked into the SpaceBuds, or you can use your own voice or the voice of someone you love as the voice prompts, and I think that's cool. Do you guys remember the Burna Boy SpaceBuds? It was Burna Boy's voice that was there, and when you press it, it says connected in Burna Boy's voice, or it says pairing in Burna Boy's voice. Well, this is sort of the same thing. You go to a silent room, record your own voice, and you would be the one saying connected, pairing, all those things. This is a list of everything that it would ask you to say. You would record it, and the recording was very seamless, by the way. I just did that once and it sounded nice, and I would use it again. Another feature I like is the dual device connection. By activating this, by turning this on, you can connect 2 devices at once to your earbuds. So I have this Android device playing a YouTube video here, and I have this iPhone playing a song here. I'm connected to the SpaceBuds on both of them, and now once I play the song on the iPhone, it pauses the video on the Android phone, and this works vice versa. This feature is something that you would normally find on a more expensive earbud like the AirPods Pro, so it's pretty cool that you have something like that on here. The transition time for me was around 3 seconds, but it was seamless, so kudos to Oraimo for that. You also get a smart chat mode on the SpaceBuds, and this is technically speech recognition. When the buds detect speech when you are playing audio and you are in noise cancellation mode, they would automatically pause the music and switch it to transparency mode, allowing you to focus on what the person is saying or even let you speak and hear your own voice. If no voice is detected within around 8 seconds, the earphones will return to noise cancellation mode and resume playing your music. I tried this multiple times and it worked. Again, this is like one of those features that you will get on flagship earbuds, and for me, I was pleasantly surprised. The only thing I wished for is that it was far quicker than 8 seconds and even 3 seconds for the dual device transition. Overall, I would rate this a 10 out of 10, especially given the price and the fact that they are trying to bring these flagship features to this price point. The Oraimo SpaceBuds feature touch controls similar to the AirPods, and unlike the AirPods which have touch controls in the stem, Oraimo SpaceBuds have like a touchpad on each earbud located above the Oraimo inscription. So you simply just tap and it will play. I just heard my voice as I put it in. It's so funny. To play music or pause music, you simply tap once. To play the next song, you tap it twice. To play the previous song, you tap it 3 times. To answer calls, you simply tap twice, and to end the call, you also tap twice. To reject a call, you tap and hold until you hear 2 beeps. To switch to ANC mode, you tap and hold until you hear 2 beeps as well. And to switch to game mode, you tap the right earbud and hold until you hear 4 beeps. To activate the voice assistant, you tap and hold the left earbud and release until you hear 4 beeps as well. They sound like a lot, but trust me, you'll get used to it. And Oraimo even allows you to modify all of this in the settings, and they might be difficult to remember. You can just pick the ones that work for you. One other cool feature you get with the SpaceBuds wide area tap. When you turn this on and you tap around your ear bones, like here and here, you should play and pause your music when you tap it twice, or turn on and off ANC when you tap it 3 times, and it works like magic. This does not feel like a category that I can really rate, but yeah, I think it's cool. The commands on the AirPods Pros are not far off though. So basically, the haptic feedbacks on these ones, they mimic a button press. It's like a click, like a, but this is just like a touch. All right, we've come to this point. It's time for the blind test. I got 4 participants who have not tested either of these earbuds to perform a blind test. We'll be testing 3 categories here. We'll be testing the comfort, we'll be testing the audio quality, and we'll be testing noise cancellation. And here's how that went.
Yeah, I feel they are quite comfortable.
I think this won't fall off easily. This sits pretty well in my ears.
This is definitely comfortable. Feels very lightweight. Looks like there's nothing in my ear.
And at least I'm shaking my head and it's not falling off.
It's light. Feels like a foam. It doesn't really give that gripping effect. They're comfortable. They're quite comfortable.
I would give it a 10 in terms of comfort.
And this is something I would rock in the gym. You're bench pressing 100 kilograms and
9 out of 10.
I think I'll give it 8 or 10, yeah.
If you don't mind, you can just close your eyes, so we'll give you the next headphone.
I feel like if I shake my head too much, it just fall off.
It feels not entirely light, but I feel like the weight is appropriate for my ears.
It's just like this would fall off. I guess I prefer the other one.
I'll place them on the same level. I also felt comfortable having, the previous pair in my ears.
I'll give it 8.
Maybe 5.
7.
I think I was expecting to be a bit more, stronger. To a large extent, it's healthy to the ears.
As an audiophile, it's not taking my ears to where I want them to go, you understand? But it's pretty decent. This is something I'll rock in the gym.
On a scale of 1 to 10, let me give it 6, sha.
7. 7 because it is good.
I'll give it a 6.5.
I would say probably a 6.
How would you describe the sound quality?
Oh my days, this is better. This has more surround. When you're watching a film in the cinema, surround, left, right, to the back. Audio dancing around your ears. Yeah.
Sounds not so bad, but I won't rate it as high as I would the previous one.
Well, it started off quite nice, but after a while, the other one tap.
Maybe a little too loud because you are just completely engrossed in whatever you are listening to, and you might not be fully aware of your surroundings or environment. But other than that, I think it's good.
Audio quality, I would say 8.5.
8.
I would give it probably a 6. It wasn't quite great. It wasn't it for me.
I'll give this one like a 4. Wow. I didn't see this coming.
absolutely incredible. I love it.
But based off what I just witnessed now, I feel like it would do, a good job out there on the streets in the real world.
Okay. The noise cancellation on this one is good. It's good. I love the transition from the transparency to noise cancellation.
I'll rate the noise cancellation like 5 out of 10.
Sorry, can I do 100 over 10?
7. I'm going to give it 7.
It's fine.
You want to let me talk my own now.
50%.
I can hear my brain. It's too silent. I don't know. I can't hear anybody speaking.
Awesome. Wait it again.
This is what you use if you have a nagging girlfriend and she's talking. The noise cancellation effect of this one is far better.
I guess I give that one, is it 100 or 10? I'll give this 200. 200 over 10 for this noise cancellation effect.
In terms of comfort, everybody felt that the SpaceBuds were lighter, of course. They are lighter than the Apple AirPods. And they also felt that it was, like it disappears in their ear and it can't fall off. Both of them at least cannot fall off. In terms of audio quality, the preference seemed to be skewed towards the more expensive one. And the same thing went for noise cancellation as well, although everybody complimented the smoothness of transition between the transparency and noise cancellation on the Oraimo SpaceBuds. Now, when it comes to the batteries on these devices, they actually do a pretty decent job on paper. The Apple AirPods Pros are advertised to last as long as 6 hours on a single charge. If you turn on spatial audio and head tracking, that drops the listening time to around 5.5 hours. But from my experience, it was more like a 24-hour device, slightly more. The Oraimo SpaceBuds, on the other hand, offer 11 hours of playtime with ANC turned off, active noise cancellation turned off, and 8 hours with ANC turned on. According to Oraimo, the case offers an extra 29 hours of listening time. I'm still testing these to see how well that goes. All my updates will be in the pinned comment. These devices are both pretty impressive in terms of numbers, and it's also quite interesting that the less expensive device does slightly better in the battery category. And in reality, they should get pretty close to the numbers that are advertised. Since we charged the SpaceBuds to full power around 6 days ago, we haven't had the need to charge it again. And I performed different tests, including the blind test, and the battery still remained intact. If you check the app, it's still like 100%. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. The same goes for the Apple AirPods Pro 2s. I've used this to travel and they actually work pretty fine for a long haul flight of like 6 hours. So we've covered most of the important details about these two earbuds. By the way, you can get a significant discount on the Oraimo SpaceBuds when you click the link in the description, when you click my link in the description, and I'll have all the details surrounding that link there and in the pinned comment. I would also say that it is very easy to call this an unfair comparison or competition, but in the end, I think something that cost 10 times less than this still held up pretty well. Let me know what you think about both these devices in the comment section below. Do you have one or an older version of one? Let me know if you have any questions as well in the comments below. You can also click here to check out the Oraimo Special Edition Burna Boy SpaceBuds, and spoiler alert, that video is very cool, so I'll see you in that one.